Looks like Luis Diaz is going to be the left winger at striker. I want to lead it
Ooh.
off. Look, I know there's a lot of people we can name. There's a lot of honorable mentions. There's a lot of people that are putting the ball in the goal. But for me, it's so simple. Like, it's so simple. He has 12 goals in 11 Premier League games. I know it seems like he's having a down year. I know it seems like, oh, he's not scoring very much. The issue is his team's not playing that well, and that is why he is not scoring that much. And if you look at his expected goals in the league, his expected goals is 11.1. He scored 11. That's another part of the fact of why we're discrediting what he's doing right now is because he usually way, way, way overperforms what his XG is. But for me, it's very cut and dry, very simple. It has to be Holland.
I have a, I, and I, this is a tough one because I have a hard time not putting Chris Wood up there. I do.
Defend him.
I mean, listen, he's got 8 goals on the season for Nottingham Forest. Okay, I mean, yeah, Holland has 12 goals, but he also has 12 goals in Pep's Man City team. I mean, how many goals would Wood have if he had all those players around him? You know, um, but you do make a very good point. He does have 12 goals on the season, 4 more than anybody else has. In terms of target forward, striker play, your job is to put the ball in the back of the net, and he has 12 goals. Now, you are doing it in Man City's team, and Chris Wood with 8 goals in a Nottingham team, you could argue is just as impressive, if not more. But it's a toss-up because, like you said, it doesn't matter. It's not about the team. He's got 12 goals. End of story. Or are you saying that because Chris Wood plays for Nottingham, it's more impressive, so you're putting him on the team? I don't know.
I
I do not know.
I can go off of that with Chris Wood. He's a proper like Barclays man. Like he's been involved in the Prem for probably over a decade, and we've seen him struggle at teams. And I'm just a big fan of like the underdog story and like coming back, and he's revitalized his form. He's completely just helped Nottingham get to where they are, and 8 goals so far from Chris Wood. Like if you told that to me earlier in the season, I would have slapped you across the face, plain and simply.
Yeah.
Like there's no way he should have 8 goals, and these are all different type of finishes as a striker. Sometimes they're headers, sometimes they're outside the box, sometimes these are crosses coming in and he's finishing. So I didn't have Chris Wood, but I did just want to shout out how well he's been playing.
Yeah, I
So you
also
don't have
I
Holland and
wanted
Chris Wood. Wow. Okay.
I also wanted to give it to Chris Wood, but you just can't. I think we're looking at the best striker. Striker, it's the position who scores the most goals. I just don't. I think it's as simple as that. I mean, Holland has a lot of missed chances this year, like quite a bit, and he's playing for City, so he has that. The people feeding him the ball in the right spots, but he's still. I mean, this is a down year for him so far, and he has 12 goals. By the end of the season, he will be clear, cut and dry. So why not just call it like you see it now?
He has a down year and he's scoring over a goal a game is just insane.
Okay.
Like, Kenny, I know you. Do you have another name that you want to put forth? I mean,
I do have
I
another
know,
name.
I know he hasn't been as good as he usually is, but City also haven't been as good as they usually are. So when I put it in context, he's still scoring more than anyone else. If somebody put a gun to your head and said, you need to win this game, who are you putting at striker? Unfortunately, Chris Wood is not getting into my team.
I understand, but that's out of context. We're talking about team of the season so far.
Yeah.
Erling Haaland, he's like Muck said, he's been missing chances. To the standard that we're holding Haaland at, he hasn't been there.
He's
And
underperformed his XG by 0.1.
I don't think he's been there. We've seen the missed chances. We're using the eye test, so that's why I'm not putting him there. I think with City not playing as well, that hinders him. But to be honest, we've seen better versions of Haaland, and I want to give credit to players that have stepped up this season and players that have been in form.
I will say, to Kenny's point. Now, I hate to go back to the stats, but I was trying to put a little context to my picks, and again, back to the percentiles. Okay, he gets fewer touches than 94% of the other strikers in similar leagues. So he's got 8 goals, and only, in that percentile. So if you want to talk about what a clinic is, he gets very few touches, and he's got 8 goals. So that is, to me, like one of the more impressive aspects, when you're comparing him to Haaland. A lot of missed chances, multiple chances every game.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And Chris Wood, 8 goals, great shout. Danny Welbeck, another one. I believe he has 8 goal contributions, another great shout. But you guys probably won't even like me for this pick. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm taking Nico Jackson.
I had a thought as well, but I
do you want
to of him, but I honestly made my decision way too quick. Not way too quick. I definitely still stand by my pick, but initially when I was trying to maybe go a little rebellious on my pick, I did think of Nico Jackson. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go rebellious, guys. What we saw for Nico Jackson, he was the meme striker. Everyone was clowning on him. Everyone was getting at him. This year, now you're seeing the hold-up play starting to connect. Now you're seeing the runs that he's making. Cole Palmer's providing the assist. Pedro Neto's providing the assist. Madueke, even though he doesn't pass the ball, when he does, he's providing the assist. Nico Jackson is now showing that he's clinical. And at 23, to have this acceleration, shout out to Enzo Maresca, I really do think he's just a player under the radar because it's the Haaland with the 12 goals. It's the Chris Wood revelation. It's Danny Welbeck proving he's a Barclays man. But Nico Jackson is not getting talked about enough, and I really do feel like he has a strong case to be in the team of the season so far.
He has a case, but is he team of the season?
More goal contributions than Wood, more than Welbeck. I don't know.
Unfortunately, mine still comes down to we have a guy that is scoring every single game on average.
Not to a standard.
And also,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what his standard is. No, he's not. No, it's not. It's the Premier League team of the season. It doesn't matter what the standard is.
His standard?
It doesn't matter what if we're basing it off standards, Chris Wood's the best player on the road right now because no one expected him to score 4 goals.
And same with Nico Jackson. Yeah, you can't, because then it scales because the people who we were like, oh, they're shit, and then they're Nico Jackson, Chris Wood, they get the upscale, but just because we have Haaland at a higher standard and he's not performing
1,000%. It's called team of the season so far. What are we saying?
But he's still the best.
What are we saying?
If
he's not performing to his level, how does he get in team of the season? You can't compare him
because
to the rest
his
of the league.
lower
You have
level,
to compare him individually.
Kenny, he's scoring a goal every game. Kenny, he's averaging a goal a game. He's averaging a goal a game.
It should be higher.
A goal a game.
I hear you. I hear you.
You're telling me he's not the best striker in the league. He's scoring every single game.
You're telling me that
he's a lock
he's made
to score every game.
You're telling me
it's like saying
he's underperformed his XG by 0.1.
When Messi was in the league and scored 70 goals, and then the following year he has 50. He's not up to his standard, but his lower standard is still better than everyone else in the entire league.
Messi. Messi scored 20 less than he did last year. He's not as good.
You're talking about an alien talking about an alien. An alien talking about an alien.
Absurd.
But that's for anywhere.
So are we just gonna act like we haven't seen Haaland miss chances that he put away last year?
It doesn't matter. It's not the point.
How does it not matter?
He's scoring a goal a game. He's scoring a goal a game, and his team's in second. So it doesn't matter.